What's up, bro?
How you doing?
All right, man. So it's the beginning, Talk of the Town podcast.
My name is Roy Bussall. I grew up in Seattle, Washington, born and raised.
My name is Javin Nash Harris. Jav Nash, whatever people call me.
I asked you, I was like, bro, man, we should start a podcast.
But I wanted to highlight some of the businesses and some of the talent as far as like sports is considered in Seattle, Tacoma area. I don't know, man. I just felt like I want to do something that highlights other people.
Like you said, put those people on the map, just to help the community out, grow the community together. Welcome to Talk of the Town podcast, episode 1. Today we got my good friend Dalayah Daniels with us today. So just to jump right in, tell us who you are, where you grew up, and
my name's Dalayah Daniels. I also go by Lele for those that know me. I grew up in the 206, Seattle, so I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so we know that you're a basketball player, and there might be people who don't know you're a basketball player. When did you first started playing basketball? What made you fall in love with the game?
I started playing, I think, my 5th grade year, and I just kind of started hooping from there. It wasn't anything too crazy. Got into it pretty seriously, I think, around 8th grade. When I started picking up offers and stuff, and I was like, okay, that's something I could definitely do in the long run. But crazy enough, I actually didn't fall in love with basketball until this past year when I came back. Last spring when I came back home, and I transferred back home to the Huskies. So I know that's definitely was eye opener for me. So yeah.
And for those who don't know, where'd you transfer from?
I went to UC Berkeley, so Cal. Yeah.
How was that experience?
I think it's hard because it was during COVID, so I think a lot of kids my age, we just didn't really get the true college experience that we were hoping that we were gonna get. So we were locked in our dorms and our apartments all day. Had to go to practice for 1 or 2 hours, then head back to the crib. So that was kind of our lifestyle for a year. But I definitely built my family out in the Bay. Really dope people, lifetime friends. Still kick it with them, fly down, they come down here. So it's a lifetime thing for sure. But, I just wanted something a little bit different. So, yeah.
Okay, so you went to Beach your freshman year.
Oh, man. He's getting into it.
Yeah, I got to. You went to Beach your freshman year. You betrayed us Vikings. But so what made you want to go from Beach and then transfer to Garfield?
Okay, betrayal's a strong word.
Yeah,
that's a strong word.
Yeah.
No, it's no bad blood or anything. I'm still cool with a lot of people from Beach. I grew up in the South End and in West Seattle because I was in a split household. But I got love for the Vikings for sure. But a lot of my family went to Garfield, so I just had to kind of go.
Who's the fam? Shout them out, because I might.
Oh, no one your guys' age. My dad, Dalayah Daniels, his whole family went there. All my siblings, Dalayah Daniels.
Daniel?
Yeah, my brother, he went to Cleveland. I'm the youngest of 8, so they all went different places. So it's different. Yeah. But yeah.
I was gonna say my family as well. I got probably over 5 generations that went to Garfield. And that lived in the city and still live in the city.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to get you to shout them out because maybe might interconnect, somewhere.
Oh no,
down the line.
I'm the first sibling to go to Garfield. So.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said your family went to.
Yeah, my dad's side. So just like him and all of his siblings, but all my siblings, I'm the first one to go.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
So so going to Garfield and everything. When did you receive your first offer? For basketball.
I believe it was in the 8th grade.
Middle school.
No, yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us what the schools were and everything?
So my first offer was from U of A, the Wildcats. The red was definitely nice, but definitely wasn't the place for me at the time. And yeah, that was they honestly offered me just talking to me. They didn't even see any highlights yet.
Yeah.
And that was just, I thought that was real because usually not a lot of schools do that, and I don't really think you should, but it's they were really big on just who you were as a person and not just how you hoop and stuff like that. So that was definitely dope. But just moving on, going on a lot of visits and stuff, I ended up going to Cal. So that was just where God wanted me to be.
Being from Seattle, McDonald's All-American. So what was it like?
Yeah, I mean, being nominated was definitely like a really cool experience. I wasn't surprised just because I knew I put in the work. You know, I think if you put in the work, you shouldn't be surprised. I think you should be happy, if anything. And just proud of yourself. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to play in the McDonald's All-American game just because our class 2020 was the first hit of COVID. So us and then 2021, neither one of us got to play. So it was
COVID put a stop on a lot of stuff.
I know. It was tough. And like it would just be hard because, you know, McDonald's, I love to go and get like, you know, my McFlurry with my French fries, and on the cup it said 2020 like McDonald's All-American games in Houston. And that's when we were supposed to be playing. And every single time I got a cup, I was just like, damn.
You got that trauma with McDonald's now.
Yeah. I was like, nah. But no, they said this whole like year and stuff. So it was like still like nice. But just like I'd rather have the experience over like the materialistic things, if anything. Because like you just can't get those memories back.
It's true.
You know, so. But no, it was dope. It was just dope just being a part of the 24, however many was selected. Like it's just different, you know.
Is McDonald's are they Adidas or Nike?
They're Adidas. Okay, it's actually nice because when I went to Cal, they're Under Armour right now, so I couldn't wear any of my stuff. And then when I came to UW, I was able to like rep a lot.
Like Adidas,
so I was able to like rep like on the court. But yeah, that was just like nice. I finally got to pull out some of my stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
So during like your signing day, like when you're like going, did you have a UW offer like before, like even before like transferring to UW after that? Like did you already have that offer before that?
Yeah.
Okay, so what made you want to go from Cal to back home? Honestly,
UW was not like, it wasn't even in the cards for me. Like when I was transferring, it's not where I wanted to go. Not because of the coaching staff. It was more so just I didn't really like know who they were. They got a new staff, and also like it was just back home. Like I still wanted to be away, and just create like my own legacy. But sometimes I don't think going away is always the best thing. If it is, then that's great. But just having a talk with the coach, we like got some coffee, and she just wowed me. And she was more concerned about who I was as a person, and I was honestly just trying to look for a place to be happy again, you know. So I think UW was like a really good fit, and God was like, you definitely bleed purple, so you gotta come back. You know? So I mean, like, it was the best time and place for sure.
And speaking of bleeding purple, let's walk us through the championship that you won at Garfield. Garfield is known for getting championships, whether it be track, basketball, male, female sports. Walk us through what that was like winning that championship. And you said one is enough, right? So walk us through what that was like, because a lot of people from other schools and even at Garfield don't get that experience. What was that like?
Yeah,
the championship.
It was a cool experience. Shout out to my teammates, Megan Fizo, KT Taylor, all of them, my class. No, it was definitely really cool. I don't know. I think it was hard because we took a hit like my sophomore year. I think we got there, fell short, came back in junior year, fell short, and just like to go out like your senior year with that, I think that was just special for like all of us. You know, like I'd rather get it leaving than like in the middle of the journey. So, no, I think God like timed that perfectly for us. So I don't know, and we just like worked hard. Like it's so much better like when you know you work for something, not just like when it was given to you. So, you know, we used to run I think like 10 minutes straight. We used to run like 20 minutes straight before practice started every single day, and that was running lines and like it was just straight, just straight, and then we had to go straight into it. So it's like I know we didn't run all that for nothing.
Yeah.
Like,
Who was your coach at the time?
Marvin Hall.
So you mentioned that you didn't really fall in love with the game or like fall in love with basketball till like this past year.
Yeah.
Like what about like before all that? Like were you not really loving the game, or like, you know, like even like when you went to Cal, like did you like didn't really love the game like that? So like what changed like your mindset?
Yeah. Honestly, like again, like when I started playing basketball, it wasn't really something that I like was in love with. It was just something that I, you know, my siblings, they're just like, you know, you should do it. I was like, okay. My dad, of course, he was happy. Like he's the hooper of the family. So, and I was good at it. I was naturally just athletic. But you know, your athleticism and like doesn't really take you that far, you know. So it's just like I had to figure out a way to kind of like what my why was, and that took me a while. It took me a while, and I wasn't going to be that person who was going to get out interviews and say, you know, like, I love this game. Like, that just wasn't my story, and I'm not going to take a story that's not mine, you know. Right. So
keep it real.
You know, you got to. So I mean, it was just, I was just rolling with it. Like, it was going to pay for my college in the end. So I was like, you know, just, you might as well do it. Like, you don't gotta love it, but like, you're having fun with it, so just keep going. And then COVID hit, obviously, but I had really good people like in my corner just to keep me going. Again, like I talked about my best friends I met down there. But then I think when I came back home, I got a lot closer to God. And I didn't grow up in a church. It wasn't, but I knew like God was like someone that I still like it was like a power that I knew was there. He just wasn't someone that I fell back on in times of need. But I think like when I came back home, he was just like talking to me heavy. You know, it's like, you know what, like you could actually go far with this and inspire like so many little girls and so many little boys.
And that's the thing I be noticing, I be peeping it, because a lot of the little girls, like, they be coming up to you, they be taking pictures and everything. Like, it's like they see you as like an inspiration for them.
Role model,
yeah. So you know, like during COVID year, I think that's when, I don't know, because we were training with Mark Anderson at that time. I don't know if that was COVID year or all that. So this is like, shout out Mark Anderson.
Yeah, shout out Mark Anderson.
My God. But like during like your hoop journey and everything, like have you ever feel like discouraged? Have people ever gave you like negative like energy, put you down and stuff like that? And what made you keep going?
I mean, there's always gonna be haters. Like anything you do. But I honestly, like any other cliche story, like I just try to tune it out. Like that's all you can really do. And
some people use it as fuel, not to cut you off.
No,
some people
good.
like embrace it. They like that.
Yeah, I mean,
having like the chip on the shoulder.
No, that's facts. That's facts. No, I don't know. I think for me, I knew that it wasn't. I knew that none of their comments like really mattered. Like, you know, it was more so just like, where was I trying to go? You know, at the end of the day, like I have big goals and aspirations. Like I can't really. My dad always told me, he was just like, whenever I like let something small get to me, he's like, that's a little thing to a giant, like, you know, type of thing. And it's not talk about my height, like I'm already 7 foot tall, but like he was just mean like, don't let the small stuff phase you, because if you let that phase you, like God's not gonna let you get to the big leads, because it's gonna get even worse. So it's like you gotta be able to handle what you have right now. So, I mean,
is that the goal, to get to the big leagues?
I was just gonna ask.
You know what I mean? Like big leagues meaning WNBA.
Like,
yeah, I mean anything you want to do, like anything that's like big to you. But WNBA was definitely like a dream of mine for so long. Yeah. But I think when I started figuring out that I'm so much more than an athlete, I can touch so many more people, like in different ways than just hoop. You know, so yeah, I mean WNBA is the goal, but if that doesn't work out, it's definitely not something that I'm gonna be like. End all type of thing.
So what are those other things that you say that you can touch other people in? Like, can you explain like what you mean? You know, honestly, I'm gonna hold that to myself because I don't really know just yet, and some of it is kind of like in the works. But I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I think since I've been back home, I've had a lot more help with just people in my corner and from the university just trying to like help me out with new stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. So yeah.
That pivot from playing sports is a difficult one for some people. Yeah. So hopefully, you know, your transition or whatever, you know, business venture or whatever you end up doing, have a lot of success in it and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You talked about you said you're the youngest of 8. 7 other siblings. Yeah. Did you all live together?
So we're a split household, but I grew up with all of them. Yeah. Like one way or another. Like whenever I do half and half. But yeah. And
you said they were in your ear trying to like, you know, advise you to play basketball a little bit, or some of them?
Yeah, some of them were, especially my brothers. So
did they play sports at all, or do they play sports at all?
Yeah, so they're all done with sports, but they all played. All of us played growing up.
They all hooped?
Hoop was one of them. Yeah.
That's what's up.
For sure. Yeah.
Only a few of my siblings got into sports. So the rest of them were like artsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
art's dope too. I'm not gonna lie. It's like on the come up. Like it goes so much with hoop too, because it's just like it's a way to like express your artistic side and everything, whether that's clothing or just like. Yeah. I know like a lot of athletes love just like portraits of them or just like expressing themselves through like clothing and stuff like that. You know, like that stuff too. Fashion. So. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's it like growing up with like 8 siblings? Because me, I got a big family too.
Yeah.
Our girl was 7 siblings. You know, there's 7 of us, so it's like I'm pretty sure we got like the same. Like, you know, like what was it like?
I mean, honestly, it was fun. Like, and for me, like, I was more so like a tomboy growing up. Like, I didn't like to be around the girls all the time. I loved to kick with my brother, more than I did with my sibling, more than I did with like my sisters.
Yeah.
Like, I was more to being like in the streets and like, whether I was like playing like basketball or like football. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was just to be outside. Like, I wasn't into makeup or anything like that. You know what I mean?
We outside.
You know, when the lights came on, that's when it was how to go. But that was definitely like, that was like a fun time for me. But, you know, it was definitely fun. Except for like when you go to school, like you gotta pray that your food's still gonna be in the fridge. Like when you get back, like that was like my only thing. You know what I mean? Like that was just tough.
Every time I come back,
shade, but no shade. But you know what I mean?
No, for real. Cause every time I come back and I be having food set aside, and my food is gone because one of my siblings ate it.
No,
I'll just
real.
be like,
you'll be in sixth period, just be thinking about it.
Yeah,
like, I hope it's
gosh.
there. I hope it's there.
I'm glad I didn't have to experience none of that because I'm serious about my food. That yeah, we would have had to run it.
No, yeah.
Love my siblings, but man, my food it's mine. You know.
No,
so you know, growing up in Seattle, you know, there's a lot of male athletes, you know, coming out of Seattle, you know, hooping and everything. What does it feel like to being like a female, you know, like being a female basketball player and like, you know, big on a big stage, D1 and everything? Like, what is that like? Because people like come up, like when they see Seattle, they see like a lot of like male athletes like that.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to be a female though, and like and playing on the big stage?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like females, like as you guys know, like we're starting to get more recognition. Not the amount that we deserve, but like it's on the incline. You know what I mean? So I mean, like I'd rather have motion than no motion at all. So, I don't know. It's dope. I think a lot more people are starting to be aware of more female athletes coming out of Washington. But yeah, I mean, we definitely have a lot of good male athletes that came from us, but I just wish that there were more female athletes that came and like gave back and like would make their presence felt, because I didn't know that there were people like Alex Montgomery, like, you know, out of Tacoma, like, you know, I didn't know she was like that. I didn't know who that was until like, I think like last year. So I think like if we just like advertise them more, like that would just be so dope for the younger generation. You know?
Are you gonna take it upon yourself to give back and to come back and show face and everything like that?
For sure. Like I think since I've been back home, I've taken a lot more pride in where I come from. I think a lot of people just throw so much shade on Seattle, especially the ones that are from here. And it's just like, I don't know like what the deal is. You know, like that's who made you who you are. Right. Like however you are today, like you just gotta be real. Like don't try to act like you're from LA, like you're from the Bay.
Oh my God.
You know, like,
we can talk about that.
You know what I mean? So just like own it, like be where you're from. So I think, you know, I'm just trying to be me and trying to be authentic, because like that's the only way I know how to be. And you know, if that means that I'm able to reach other little girls and other little boys, and like that's what I got to do. You know, if no one else is gonna do it. So, you know, but yeah.
I want to piggyback on that because I grew up in Seattle and I was actually born in Tacoma. But I was raised in Tacoma and Seattle.
See, that's different. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah,
but like majority was Seattle after like my 7th, 8th grade year. So I love Seattle. Like I have nothing besides the rain and the weather. Like that's my one critique about Seattle. But no, you guys, I mean, we can't control the weather. But I always wonder why people who are from here had the most stuff to talk about the city, and I'm like, this is such a rich, like, I don't mean with wealth like money, but like a rich city, and like the culture, history, the culture, like there's so much to learn about, like where you're from and to be proud of, but people would just bash it, and I'm like, man, this is I'll show you. I have tattoos. I have the Space Needle tatted on me. So
tough.
Like
that's tough.
Yeah, so like I'm proud to be from here, you know, like this is home to me, you know. They say home is where your heart is. I was born in Tacoma, but this is home. So since we're on the subject of Seattle and everything, we do still have the storm, right? The Seattle storm. But talk about what it would be like for you to get the Sonics team back, because I know that's been like I've actually seen on the news people talking about like we might actually get a team and it might actually still be the Sonics
like in 2 years, right?
It's gonna be. I think it's between them and like Vegas. Like Vegas might get a team like that. I think LeBron might be on some, you know, trying to own. I don't know, but anyway, what would that mean to you if we did get a male NBA team back again?
That would be tough. Like again, like talking about the culture, like it just brings so much more to our city and just so much more excitement.
Yeah.
And plus, like, I don't know, it's something to complement the WNBA too. You know, like people who visit Seattle, you know, they get to go to NBA game and an NBA game.
Right.
Yeah.
They have what's it called, the Kraken or Kraken?
Kraken,
yeah. I don't know. Everyone's controversial about it, but
Yeah.
Shout out to the Kraken.
yeah, no, I gotta go to one of them games. But I just think it would just bring so much more excitement to our city. And I think if you're not from Seattle, you think it's so big, but it's actually really small.
The city?
Yeah, like it's like everybody knows everybody, especially in the sports realm.
For
so
sure.
it's just like, I don't know, it just brings so much more like camaraderie and again, like, who doesn't love hoops, you know?
My heart was broken when they left. I was broken. I was like, Oklahoma? What's in Oklahoma?
Right,
Like, is
right.
Oklahoma City Thunder? Yeah, so if we get a team, I'll be...
Yeah, I feel like that's gonna make a big impact on the city. A lot.
Definitely.
Like bringing back the Sonics for sure.
Definitely.
And it'll bring a lot more awareness to the WNBA too, because male athletes, like they're like in the NBA, they're starting to give us a lot more recognition. So like you'll see them pulling up to our games, us to theirs, type of thing. So just like, it just creates a lot more media attention too. So I'm thinking about it that way.
Personally, I could be wrong, but I feel like Kobe had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
Because before he passed, rest in peace, Kobe. I saw what he was doing with wearing like the orange hoodie with the women's logo and everything, and going to the games, and he had a lot of momentum, you know, of that going. So, I one thing about myself, when I got to college and I got to Wazoo, I started going to more female games. Because before, I would go because, like, you know, our game was after playing in high school and things like that, right? But like when I got to college, it was like, I'm going to these soccer games, I'm going to these volleyball games because I wanted to. I'm going to these games, and it was like, man, this is dope.
Yeah, we're tough.
You know what I mean?
And
And I'm starting to see a lot more women dunking.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the game that's going to bring more excitement to the game too. Like, you know, women dunking. Like, that's. Are you dunking?
No, sadly not.
Okay.
I'll leave that to the next generation.
We got some plyos for you though. We got to put you on some workouts.
You know. Hey.
Since we got a WNBA team, do you like reach out to them? Do you talk to anybody that plays for the Storm team? Like, do they
Yeah, I don't currently have like anyone on the team that I know. I know Jade LaVille. Shout out Jade LaVille. She got drafted to the Storm this past year. So, but no, it's I don't know. I mainly just go to the games and stuff like that. I try to just support them as much as I can because I mean that's where I want to be. You know, I can't really study the people who are in my same position all the time. Like, if you want to be a great, you have to be studying the grades too. So I just try my best just to be a part, in the mix as much as I can.
Who do you study?
Well, Brianna Stewart, but she left.
Come on.
I know. It sucks, but I think she definitely just brought so much more excitement to our city for sure.
Really?
Just because she left, everyone thinks she took it with her, but
Right.
that's still here. The love's still here. But no, I definitely studied her, Elena Deldon, Satu Sabali. I just try to study players that I aspire to take a little bit from and be or who I'm already similar to. So yeah.
So who's your biggest inspiration? Like, which players your biggest that motivates you?
I wouldn't say motivate, but I would say I definitely take a little bit from Asia Wilson. Because I'm a pretty versatile player. I like to be a big dominance inside, but also still have range too. So I like Brianna Stewart. I love Candace Parker. She's tough.
Oh my gosh, she's real.
You know, so she's different. Who else? Again, Satu Sabali. So just a little bit from everybody, I guess, not just from one specific player. But yeah.
So now who's your top for NBA wise now?
Oh, dang.
Who's your top 5 players, or who's your favorite player? Then your top 5. What is your
You gonna do NBA?
No, let's do WNBA. Nah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to know. Well, we can do
I was
both.
gonna say because I support NBA, but I don't be watching as much as I do.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Top 5. Does it have to be in order?
No order. Just top 5.
Okay, we'll do Elena Deldon.
Okay.
Candace Parker. Brianna Stewart. Kelsey Plum. Asia Wilson. Yeah. I mean, there's so many other people, of course, Diana Taurasi, but, these are just players, I just love to watch. Again, so...
Okay.
Definitely controversial, but, you know.
I want to touch base on about the NCAA women's basketball.
Because we was on that.
We was
on that before all the controversies and the...
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the LSU team? You know, winning and then playing against what's her name?
Who, Caitlyn Clark?
Yeah, Caitlyn Clark. Like, how do you feel like when you seen like this and all that? Like you know, it brought attention to the media.
Mm-hmm.
Like how did you feel like?
You know, thank you to the media because
right.
you know we're able to pick up on new details from the story. So come to find out, Caitlyn actually wasn't doing it to anyone on the you know, and I'm good. Like I'm friends with Haley Van Lith, so I mean I play on the same AAU team as her, but I seen like one of her like interviews, but apparently she's doing it to like a manager or something.
Right.
But I think it's hard for me to talk about subjects involving race because I am biracial, and so I don't ever like want to offend anyone on my black side or my white side. So like it's already stirred up drama in my family over this topic. So thank you NCAA. But no, I mean it's definitely facts. Just like the overall principle of it, disregarding the you can't see me. Like even way before that, like I think what Angel Reese was saying, like she's not the first, and she's definitely not going to be the last person to have that narrative. Mm-hmm. You know, there's been so many other athletes before her who can't even like express themselves. I mean, I go through it all the time. Like I can't be as passionate as I want to be, especially being on a predominantly like white team. I look absurd, so it's just like, I think it's just a really just disproportionate level of treatment against like, just comparing white athletes to black athletes. I mean, it's just a narrative that you just don't want to see put on them. But I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it, so I mean, like, if they already like stigmatize you as being aggressive, then do it.
Mm-hmm.
They already expect that from you. So I mean, like, it doesn't really matter to me, but
Before all of that controversy, me and Roy was watching the NCAA games leading up to the tournament, and I remember I called him and I was like, "Yo, there's this girl from Iowa, Caitlyn Clark." I was like, "She is cold." I was like, she can shoot the lights out the gym," and he was like, "What?" So, long story short, we started keeping up with her, and then I found out about Angel Reese through the tournament and watching her through LSU. And again, like I said, from watching college sports, I'm like, I'll watch women's games. Like it's not a thing. And it was exciting. It was exciting to see the game get elevated like that. I think that's what they did. Again, removing all the racial controversy and the, you can't see me, all that. They elevated the game. Yeah. Like that was dope to watch and experience. Like we're living through historical times. Like coming up for the next season, I'm gonna be watching you, right? I'm gonna be supporting. But just the whole women's basketball, NCAA, like it's gonna be lit.
No, it is.
No,
it's
gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
It's like the new version of like reality TV. Like, I was watching something on like TikTok the other day. They're like, if you guys aren't watching college hoops right now, like, what are you doing? Like, it's so entertaining. Like, it's just, I don't know what's more fun, that or NBA. Like, I don't know. I'd rather watch college hoops if it were up to me, but I mean, like, it's just more entertaining.
It feels like they play harder too.
It is more entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even, I also think before the money, I think because in the NBA, like in pro leagues, like you are getting paid, so it's like I feel like a lot of them are just like just chilling. They're chilling. They don't really care about. I'm not talking for everybody, but I'm saying like a lot of it is just for the media. Right. Try to act cool, but it's like in college, like when we weren't getting paid, it's like you can actually see who's playing for passion, and right now you can see who's playing for money. It's just different. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's definitely entertaining for sure. I will say that, but. No, and to touch on Caitlyn Clark, like I don't know what's better, her jump shot or like her passing, because like she's tough. Like it is crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Her passing is.
She can make the most average player look like a pro. Like just her, that is great. Like that's a goat. That's for real.
So is this upcoming season? Is this gonna be your last season, or you still got 2 more?
I got 2 more years.
Okay, so like, what's your plan like with this season coming up? Like, what's your goals with the team and everything?
Yeah. I mean, of course, like you wanna go to the tournament. Like we went to the WNIT Final Four this past year for the first time, so that was definitely like a huge.
Yeah, I was watching that.
I appreciate you. That's love. But no, definitely going to the tournament. That's gonna be our next big step. Especially being a senior, like an upperclassman now, so it's definitely going to be just a really big role for me, just kind of keep the spirits high and just continue to like guide the youngins, let them know that like y'all can get here. Like you guys, like you're a part of it now. So I mean, like, that's what I'm excited for.
What I don't know. Do you have to wear team shoes, or do you get to wear whatever shoes you want?
Anything that's Adidas.
And the reason I asked is because Caitlyn was wearing Kobe's, and to go back to her, but Caitlyn was wearing Kobe's, and at first when I first saw her, I was like, who is this wearing these bright Kobe's? Like, she better be filthy. She was. But so anything Adidas. So do you have like a go-to shoe that's comfortable for you during the season that you like to wear? I'm a sneakerhead. I work for Nike, and I was a shoe specialist and stuff. So I love talking about shoes. I can talk about shoes all day.
No, okay, maybe we can talk. But no, she well, no, I didn't see the shoes that she was wearing, but no, for us, I don't know. I like a lot of the shoes that they give us. Like Adidas treats us good. Yeah. Like they give us any type of shoe that we need, and we also have like, I don't know if a lot of like colleges do this, but they actually like let us sit on the Adidas like apparel like panels. So like we'll get to like sit in on like our meetings, like what type of gear we want.
What?
Yeah, like
so you have a voice in what?
Yeah. And so
crazy.
I know that's crazy. And I was like, oh yeah, like can we get this? Can we that? But like, I don't know, I think because I was coming from a school that didn't have as much like financially, I was just so grateful for getting anything, type of thing. So yeah, I mean, is it like a majority, like you guys have to vote, or is it like it's not just our team thing? It's just like everybody gets love, like from all the sports, and I think because we're all like on the come up too, like all of our teams, like shout out our softball team, like they went pretty far. So I mean, like everybody gets a voice in it, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was. Do
you know about the shoes, the pro models? Do you remember those shoes, the ones that where you could put in the
wait, what?
the little they're Adidas. This is a throwback. This is, if you know, you know.
I was gonna say, 'cause I never wore Adidas before coming here.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not then. But there was a shoe called the Pro Models.
Okay.
This is vintage. This is like, so on the side of them where the three lines were, you could put in or take out different colors.
Oh, you can.
You know what I'm talking about?
So we get like these little bit emojis for some of our shoes.
Okay.
And you can take them off. And like put them onto your shoes and like change them out. So I don't know if it's something similar to that, but it's different.
It might be, but the Pro Models you got to look them up after this.
Okay, I'll look them up. I got you.
Yeah.
Dang.
I was going to ask if you want, but she never wore before this.
Yeah. How often do you guys get like shoes? Like, you know, is it like a weekly thing, a monthly?
I mean, we get them. It also comes with like just like your success that you have, really. So I mean, like the further you get into the season, the further tournament. Like when we get to the tournament for WNIT, like we got a lot more stuff, and that kind of like gives you like incentive too to like just want to keep going further. Yeah. It's just like, because you know you're gonna be getting stuff, but like also just like that's not why you're doing it. It's just like it gets you excited about it, and but no, they give us shoes. I mean.
Is it just hoop shoes, or do y'all be getting like these?
No, we actually got these.
Oh my god, no, those are tough.
They're pretty tough. Yeah, they hook us up with like, they don't give us Yeezys. Sorry, Kanye, but no, we don't be doing that. But they give us a lot of slides, a lot of sneakers, hoop shoes, just like pretty much like anything like that. Probably like once a month, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Do you know what the process is? Because I've wanted to ask somebody who's in it. Do you know what the process is, or how you can get an NIL deal? Like, how does that happen? Does somebody just reach out to you, or do you have to like talk to a like agent or something? I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it's different because I think NIL is different for every school. Mm-hmm. Like I know for us, I don't know if I can disclose this, but I mean y'all can cut it out if you want to. But no, I mean we have this thing called like Mountain Lake Futures, so it's a pretty like there's like a part of UW, and we're on Mountain Lake, so they just call it that, and they kind of like help us. They reach out to us like. Any deals that a company might want to like partner with a specific athlete, and they'll reach out to you, be like, hey, like they want to work with you for this amount, and then you'll do it, type of thing. So that's something I didn't have at my previous school. Okay. And then like if companies just want to reach out to you on your own, like they'll send you a contract, you give it
directly to you.
They'll send a contract to,
or is it like through the school and NCAA?
Through the person through your school. So like you should have like NIL person that helps out. Like every school should pretty much have that now. Yeah. Like it should be like every school or like D1 school should have like an NIL like director in the works at least, who like oversees that stuff. Yeah. So they'll look at the contract, then they'll say like, okay, it's good to sign, and they'll send it back.
Is it just D1 schools that get NIL deals, or is it like?
I think no, anybody can get it.
Okay, because you said like, D1, so I just wanted to clarify.
No, yeah, I think that's a valid question, because I think not every school can like afford like people in those certain positions. Gotcha, so I mean some schools don't have it, but it's nice if they do, because you don't want your athletes like just signing like random deals. I didn't engage in any type of like NIL when it came out, unless it was something that was like worth my time.
Did you get hit up for some? Like somebody reached out to?
I mean, yeah, in the beginning, but
Okay.
like it just wasn't really. I also wasn't really like a big time at Cal, like especially because like it's the Bay. Like not a lot of women's teams get show a lot of tough type of things. So I mean, in Seattle, like I'm back home.
Yeah.
I'm actually from here, so it's different.
Well, hopefully you get some deals coming up.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
that.
No, 'cause she's out there balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
What I want to talk about is what is the love like from like at UW versus the love at Cal, like the difference, like
You mean from the fans or
like from the fans, you know, like during game time, you
Yeah.
know, people at the games watching. What was the love, like the difference
Yeah.
between the love?
No, I think that's honestly like a big part that like brought my love back for the game, or not even just brought my love to the game. How should I say? Like, I think at Cal, because I'm not a Cali girl, so obviously that's a con of when you're going home, like when you're going away from home, like you don't have as much like support. I didn't have any family down there. We also had cut out like boxes heads for COVID because it was COVID, so they put like
family.
A family,
Or
fans, everything. So like it was a whole bunch of just like cut out boards of like the fans,
Yeah.
and I was just like, and they put like fake like crowd chants, and that was our fans for every single game.
Crazy.
And pretty much every single school had it. So in Pac-12 at least. So I mean, you go to Stanford, go to UCLA, just a whole bunch of cutout board heads, and that was our fans.
No.
But that was freshman year. So I mean, the love compared to real people, I mean, it's always gonna be different.
Right. Instead of a cardboard head.
I
right?
mean, I'd rather, so
Yeah.
second year, different. Everybody started coming out, but still, like, it's just not the same. And then come back home, like, we didn't have as any fans, but when we started, like, winning and, like, we beat number 2 Stanford, and then we started, like, beating teams like Oregon, like, teams we've never, like, been known to beat. So it's just, like, everyone was showing love. Like, I know a lot of my family was coming. A lot of people that I went to high school, Garfield, Beach with, like, everybody. So, like, everybody was, like, popping out. So it was different. And I was loving it. I was enjoying it. And so were my teammates. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I love how you embrace being from Seattle. I really do. I appreciate it because so many people, like we said earlier,
A lot of people don't even like taking pride
and
from
from here. They want to be from Cali. They want to be from
Yeah.
wherever else, and I appreciate that about you. That's
No, I
dope.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, but also, like, I think about it, too, from their instance, because I once was that person. I think when you're leaving, I think it just depends on the people
just
that
wanted
you
to get over it.
surrounded yourself by, too, because people make your experience. So maybe the people who were in their corner weren't making Seattle the best of it. And I mean, so I think once I just realized that, I had a lot of love, that's when I started to embrace, like, my city. And, I wouldn't be me without all the trials and tribulations. Like, I wouldn't be who I am.
It's funny, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. So maybe it took you to
Hey,
leave
hey.
to realize what you had back home and to come back.
Oh, that's facts.
It did it for me.
That's
I know.
facts.
I love my city, so I love my family and all that. So yeah.
That's facts. That's facts.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to college too, like I'm sure y'all can attest to this. Like when you go home, when you go back home, you think everything's changed. It's the exact same.
It's the same.
Everybody doing the same stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like it just makes you want to go even harder. Just like I don't want to be doing the same stuff that all my friends from high school are still doing. Like I want to actually do something with myself, and then it makes you just want to come back and give back and make your city better, type of thing. So
That's why we're on this podcast doing this. Yeah.
So you talk about your relationship with God and everything. What's your favorite your Bible verse that you like do you stand by, like that you always like your go-to
If you have
verse?
one, yeah.
If you got one, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like the pretty much like cliche one, like I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But I mean, like if it wasn't cliche, then like then like it wouldn't be true. So I just always think about that verse, and just knowing that I can really do anything. I think once I started like learning that no one cares about what you're doing. Like I think we worry so much about
what other people think,
everyone's perceptions of you, and when I realized that we're all literally struggling, like we're just struggling to be a better person, a better version of ourselves. Like no one's worried about you, like as much as we may think so. And plus, like I come from a family that has like a lot of pride too, so it's like they already just always tell me like don't care about what nobody else says, and plus like they want to look good. I'm just like, okay, well, I never cared about that, but it was just like I think being back home, like I kind of took a lot more pride in like the way that I carry myself, the way that I go about my business. Like it's very, very different than when I was here in high school. Like I would show up with my hair not being done, walking around with I don't know what type of shoes I was wearing, but now I take a lot more pride in just like what I wear and just like how I talk, and it's it's just different. It's culture. It's just like, it's everything. And I feel like it's not just like to show off, but it's just like, you know, I think about him and I think like I can do whatever it is I put my mind to.
Yeah.
And I can wear whatever I want to wear. I can say whatever I want to say, as long as I'm not like disrespecting anyone. Like, it's just being authentic, and it's making the space different.
That's good. That shows a lot of growth, like from high school to now.
Yeah.
And I feel the exact same way. Like, me and Roy talk about a lot of stuff, but I'm like, man, look, you should do this, because when you look back, you might feel a certain way. Yeah.
You don't
want to live with regret. So.
Like, I wish I did ASB in high school. Like, I was so afraid of, like, y'all know what ASB is, right? Yeah. Like, I wish I would have done that stuff. Like, I was so afraid to just, like, talk at assemblies. I'm like, I ain't thinking about none of y'all chumps. Like, I would have went back and did all that, you know?
We just got done talking about that. Like, I wish that, like, I just thinking about, like, there's a lot of things I wish I would have did in high school. Like, as far as, like, I wish I would have played football in high school. I wish I would have ran track in high school.
There's so many things.
It's like a lot of things that, you know, so.
I was weird. I threw myself into everything.
That's not weird.
That's not tough. Weird, but you know what I mean. Like, I kind of just, I was like, let me try this, let me try that. Like, I have a optimistic, open-minded, whatever personality. But I ran cross country. Like, believe it or not, like I did that my senior year. I got into a lot of stuff, but it definitely gave me a different perspective. Yeah. And I think that's why, like with what you were saying about how you pay attention to how you carry yourself now more than you did in the past. That kind of stuck with me when I went to Pullman and then came back. I'm like, man, I can't. I mean, I love my afro, but I gotta like pick it out. You know what I mean? Like I love. Now I love shoes. Back then I didn't really care about my shoe game or nothing like that. But like I didn't care if I was my appearance. It wasn't big on me. And now I'm like, nah. Before I leave, I gotta make sure I come correct. Right? It's not just me. It's like my people know my pops and my mom and my brother. So I'm not just representing myself. It's my last name first, right? So.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
No, that's, all you said, I mean, everything that you just said, like, I don't know, I think definitely, like, just going away, it just gives you a different perspective, but it also just, like, makes you realize just how much, like, you just, like, you robbed yourself, you know, type of thing. Like, I feel like you just strip yourself of so many opportunities, and especially, like, I think, like, for me, now more than ever, like, our coaches do such a good job at, like, telling us to, like, touch as many things as you possibly can. Like, whether that's going swimming, whether that's playing tennis. Like, I try to do so much cross training now. It's crazy that when I go back to playing basketball, like, I'm just like so much more refreshed. Like, I'm actually grateful to play it because like, dang, like I missed it, you know. So
did y'all hear that? To all my young athletes out there, I tell them, I say track and swimming, whatever, should be your secondary sport, and you can keep basketball, track, cheerleading as your primary, but like you probably want to get into as many other things as you can, because it'll make that primary thing that much easier and that much more fun. You'll enjoy it more, and you
build relationships, like
that too.
Like for me, I'm someone who struggles from like social anxiety, so even doing stuff like this isn't like my comfort, but it's just like,
thank you for coming out.
No, I mean, I've struggled with it all throughout high school, but I was definitely like someone that just like likes to be around people and like build relationships. Like, so I think just like, again, just like being around as many athletes as you can, because you all have a similar story, just different sports, and you guys don't know that until you guys actually talk. Like our generation does not talk enough. Like, it's all through FaceTime or through text messages. Like, I hate texting. I don't like it. Like, I'd rather be in like face-to-face interactions.
That's the type of person I am too.
Like, I grew up in an old school family. Like, so it's you know, I sometimes feel like I don't fit in our generation, but it's just like,
when you said be home before the lights get on, I was like, ooh.
No.
Yeah, she grew up in that kind of system.
No, it's different.
Because now I don't even feel like kids go outside. Like, they be on their phone.
They don't.
They just be on their
phone.
Like, bro, let's go touch Earth. Like, let's go.
Like, I remember when I didn't even have a phone. I think I had like the Sidekick or something, or like a little.
The one that you.
Oh my god.
Yes.
And those, like, I couldn't do anything.
Or like a leapfrog or something.
Yes.
Like, that's just.
That's
now this generation just changed a lot. It's
just
crazy.
Different. It's different,
real different.
It's different, and it's okay too, because like I used to, like, for me, like, I'm someone who's trying to like get away from social media as much as I can. Obviously, using, like, it's okay to like have all that stuff, but I feel like if we're using it in the right way, you know, like, it's fine. But I feel like we're using it for a lot of us are using it for the wrong, for comparison, for just showing off like what you have. Like, most of y'all ain't happy. Like, and like, even like in my highest points in my life, like when I was winning a state championship, when I was McDonald's All-American, like, I was posting all that stuff, and so many people thought I was happy. Like, those are my most like depressing days, like, honestly. And when I stopped like doing that, I got to like reflect on who I was and like what it is, who I actually like wanted to be. And I think just like being away from home like helped me do that. So
would you say your best moments were not on your phone?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think these are my best moments now.
I kind of set it up, because I know,
That's probably like I think since I came home, since last year, because I came home last March, and since then, like, I've been the happiest. Like, I think, like, since I did, like, the work for it, but I think, like, I've just been, like, living.
Good for you.
You know?
That's awesome.
That.
Yeah, keep living.
Yeah.
That's
I hope everybody experiences that, honestly. Like, real happiness, you know, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
You got anything else?
Is there any last minute words you want to say, you know, encouragement to like the younger youth, you know, to the audience, or anything that you want to say?
Yeah, just speak out. Or just speak to y'all.
You can look into a camera, you can talk to us,
just,
however you want to do it.
Okay, I would just say I don't know, find your why and just run with it. And your why can change. Like, I don't think people understand that. Like, it doesn't have to be the same. You don't have to keep using, like, you know, like, I just want to prove people wrong. But, like, your why changes over time, you know, type of thing. And whatever just keeps you going, holding on to that. So,
Do you have anything else that you're involved in that you want to talk about real quick as we close up?
I just seen that you were in the, I think it was a couple weeks ago. I forgot what the event was called at Renton High School.
Oh, the panel, mental health panel.
Yeah, what was like? I know there's kids there and everything.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Yeah, so I did the panel with Nolan Hickman and Trey Simmons and Romel Witherspoon. So I was definitely grateful to be a part of that. It was just a huge thing. I think mental health is bigger than ever. Like, it's always been a thing. Like, it's not new, but I think it's something that, like, the media has just, like, started to, like, normalize. And I think, like, it's hard for Black men in general to talk about, like, their mental health. So I think just, like, hearing those two talk about it, and then versus, like, mine, it was just like, wow, like, I'm not the only one. And I think, like, it was just a really special moment for us to, like, really just, like, get close and, like, share stories. So yeah, I don't know, I think it was just a really, like, eye-opening experience. I met so many dope people too. Like, and
is that something, sorry to cut you off, is that something that you might look into being more a part of, is like an advocate for mental health or something? Yeah,
so we're gonna start doing that same panel. I think they want to do it like a few times a year, so I'll definitely still be a part of that. I would love to still be a part of that. And I think as I kind of get older and start to kind of like find my own voice and how I can like impact people the right way, I might want to do something in a way that still touches like the community, and not just Seattle, but just like, you know, whoever may be like out there that struggles with mental health, whether that be, you know, little boys, little girls, men, women, anything like that.
Absolutely. All right. Let the people know where they can. Well, I know you're trying to stay off your phone and stay off stay off of social media as much as possible, but let the people know where they can follow you at and keep up with what you're doing in life. So the Instagram tag or handle tag. I don't see. I don't even know. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you got.
No, y'all can follow me at Dalayah Daniels on Instagram. That's all I got.
All right.
No Twitter.
All right. We appreciate you for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Make sure y'all tap in with this season coming up.
Talk of the town.
Come watch a straight bucket this season.
Yeah. Go Huskies.
Go Huskies.
Go Huskies.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for coming out.